Good evening. Keeps up the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and joining me tonight as a co-host, we have Steve, the Voice White. How you doing tonight, Steve?
Good evening, everybody.
And making his first appearance as a guest on the show, the man of the hour himself, and is Mark. And, I hit the wrong one, like a noob. It looks like they changed it. Mark from Legion of Comics. Good evening, Mark. How you doing tonight, sir?
Doing good. How are y'all?
I am great. So, Mark, as I like to begin these things, I'm going to give you a minute to tell the people out there who may have caught you for the first time on the replay who you are, what your channel's about, where they can find you. And I also want you to give a quick promotion on what you and DJ Links have coming up for the hashtag We Are Legion, hashtag Link Squad giveaway coming up, and how they can enter that.
So I'm Legion of Comics right here on YouTube and Instagram. I'm a second generation collector who grew up around comics and didn't have enough people to talk and enjoy comics with. So I took to the YouTubes. I used to watch videos, comic tropes videos on YouTube. And then I found out through just like suggested videos that there was other comic stuff on there. And I found the Comic Jabronis channel. And I started hanging out there and I was a member of his channel. And that led me to Burke, Family 54, and then so on and so forth. And then Burke encouraged me to start a YouTube channel, and now here I am. As far as me and DJ, we like to really do as much as we can for our community, our subscriber base, our viewers, and all that stuff. And one thing we like to do, it's become an annual occasion now. We do a channel crossover event, and we're doing that, and it involves the first appearance of Wolverine in the CGC 8.0. And if you want to know the details of that, for reasons, I would just suggest that you go watch the video that's pinned to the top of my channel or pinned to the top of DJ's channel for the details.
And Mark's links are in the description below for all of you wondering who are watching this on the rewind. Because if you're here, I assume you know Mark, and that's part of the reason that you're watching and with us tonight. We're going to say a quick hello to the chat, Mark, and then we're going to come back to you for your first book. And Las Cruces, first in as always. Good evening, James. Kevin, a great supporter. Great dude. How you doing, Kevin? Nice to see you. Mark is taking the logo right away from Las Cruces shamelessly. We have Mike from Evil's Comics. Ryan Riley, good to see you, sir. Warlord, hashtag We Are Legion. Nice to see you. Faith and Misery, good evening. Nice to see you. My Nerdy Collection, good evening. Nice to see you. Pops Attic, all right. There's the dad. And also, he's got himself a great Instagram. I've bought many a book from him, and every purchase has been a very happy purchase and a well-priced purchase.
All purchases come with a happy ending.
They do. I bought them from several times. Lisa, nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. Scott, nice to see you, sir. Thank you for being here. L Green Machine, nice to see you, buddy. Thank you for stopping by. Kenneth Bird, nice to see you, Kenneth. How you doing tonight, sir? Joe, Anachronic Comics. Nice to see you. One of my favorite people there. Lee Newman. Nice to see you, Lee. Hashtag We Are Legion. Brother John Comics is here. Mr. TM Nerdy. How you doing tonight, Travis? Congrats on your wins, and congrats on your win as well, Mark. Stagnant Sinha. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. Mr. Gary Woods. Gotta like a Gary. Couching and Slouching with C. Bizzle. How you doing tonight, sir? Nice to see you. Flash by Night. TJ, how you doing, sir? Mr. Eddie Rodriguez, good to see you tonight, sir. Steve White, who's, of course, our co-host, one of our co-hosts. Kyle Comics 87, nice to see you, Kyle. Thank you for coming in. Paul, how you doing tonight? Sector 2815. And check out Paul's show, Guess That Key. And what nights can they see that, Mark?
Tomorrow night at 9:30 real time. It's the premier comic book game show, the #1 comic game show this side of the Mississippi, and #2 on the other side. Every other week, tomorrow night, and then the Christmas special is after that. You won't want to miss it.
Mr. DJ Links, who we were just talking about earlier. Good evening, DJ. Nice to see you. Mr. DVH, who's coming back for a second time soon. Brad from Canada. Nice to see you, Brad. Absolutely love having you here. And Pocan Joe, how you doing, Joe? Nice to see you, sir. And I think we are finally caught up. So, Mark, Digger Jim has popped in.
Hey,
Comic Collectibles, good to see you. Collecting with Durs, good evening, sir. We are popping off. So, KDBM, nice to see you, sir. And one of my all-time favorite people, Jerry the Jitterbug.
Jerry.
So Mark, how was it picking out the books? Was it stressful? Was it fun? Everybody has a different experience with it.
I can't see you. Where you at? Okay, you're in the corner down there. Okay. Picking out the books wasn't stressful. It was fun. I did it in a not in a haste, but I did it just shortly ago. Like I always have books around me. I have books out like in the collection out back as well. And I figured I could just probably grab some from around me. And it quickly turned into like a theme almost. I'm like, well, I want these specific things in it. And it happened really easily and organically. And it was kind of emotional, a little sentimental. So this is a sentimental 1011 for me.
Nice. We like that. That's what it's all about.
It's not a flex 1011 or anything like that. They all have a reason and a story to be here tonight.
All right. Well, let's start out with number one, and we'll get the stories rolling.
Okay. Well, like I said,
of course, guys. Before we get started, we also need to welcome in Rob, Fat Stacks of Comics. How you doing tonight, Rob?
Hi, Rob.
Just remember what time it was.
What's up, baby? He would have been on time if it was anyone other than me.
No, this isn't his first time doing this.
I'm just kidding because I'm late every week.
If this was at 4:30 in the morning, I would have been here. But
yeah, I would have been the late one.
Honestly, for some reason in my head, I just had it like, oh, this is at 6 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. Eastern, instead of 5-8. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, wait a second, is that right? And I had to look at my calendar and said, oh shit,
we've had him fresh from a nap.
I wasn't napping this time.
Time got him. I'm
okay,
here to
Rob, you're here.
Cry. Well, you won't
That's
see
right.
that, Taylor, because I'm heartless bastard. But so we're kicking off. Like I said, I'm a second generation collector. I grew up and my father had already been collecting comics for decades and decades. It was just always a part of my life. I can't remember there not being comics around the house. But one of the most sentimental books that I own was a gift from my dad for my birthday. And it was the first book that he ever bought, the first comic that he ever owned. He got it slabbed and graded and gave it to me. It's Turok, Son of Stone, issue number 35 from 1963. So this is important because without this book existing, I wouldn't be into comics. This got my dad into it. They got me into it. So this book had to come first. For you have to walk before you run kind of thing.
Right.
Yes, you do.
And I mean, what a great book to capture a kid's imagination, right? You got the dinosaur in the cover.
The Indians, like, let's go.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I love that even in this case, to borrow something from sci-fi, although it's not a damsel, we have a gentleman in red in distress.
In red,
yeah. Yes. The red shorts in distress.
What?
Yeah, and
change it up.
one way or another,
amazing.
One way or another, I was going to have to bring a Turok book, so it might as well be one that's not just a joke, right?
Right.
Exactly. And it's good that it's one that's been well read too.
So, like I said, I grew up around comics. I get asked a lot, what's like the first comic you ever bought, first comic you ever read? I don't know. Don't remember.
Same here.
Too young to remember. But before I could even read comics, I also collect and love movies. Same passion that my dad has for movies that moved on to me. And one of the earliest movies that had the biggest impact on me is still my favorite movie to today. It's the all-time greatest movie that's ever existed, if you ask me, in any genre or anything. So I brought the comic book representation of that because before I could read, I watched movies. So the first appearance of King Kong from Westerns, Gold Key, 1933 King Kong is the all-time GOAT. Everyone thought I was going to bring a Godzilla book. I didn't, but the MonsterVerse is fully represented by the one that started it all, King Kong.
That's a nice number too.
Mark, did you ever? I was lucky. I was able to bring my kid because we have the Eastman Theater here in Rochester.
Oh, nice.
And they showed an original 1933 reel of it. And Fay Ray's daughter came and spoke.
Oh, that would have been nuts.
Wow.
And it was so I got to watch the original King Kong in its original aspect with the terrible sound that they had back then.
Yeah. Dude, there's something to it. There's a magic to it, though.
And unedited, it had all the full scenes in it.
Like the dude getting eaten out of the tree and everything.
Where did they find a projector to use on the old film stock anymore?
Yeah, well, they had preserved copy, and they showed it.
I'm just so paranoid about that film catching fire.
But yeah,
it was great. And you think that, I mean, our perception of movies are these huge screens. The original aspect is not that big.
No, it was a 4x3, like the old televisions. The televisions went to different sizes in order to get people to stop waiting for stuff to go, come out to the theater. They wanted you to go to the theater and see this bigger experience.
And not only did that movie like start my passion for like cinema, for like the MonsterVerse, but it started my passion for McFarlane toys. As you can see, I'm a huge collector of McFarlane toys, but that one right there is the first McFarlane toy from the movie Maniac line of King Kong that I had from my childhood, even. Like so,
and the NECA ones that are out now are amazing. Did you see the 33 NECA? Oh yeah, it's so good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And then there's like the Legendary, and then there's the McFarlane one still in the box that I was able to recently reacquire. And then Finn's got like some Legendary King Kong and Godzilla stuff too, don't you?
Ooh, and in New York City, the original King Kong was played on $1 Million movie for a week, and we watched it every night. Nice.
That's cool.
All right, number 3, Mark. Look, you had me at King Kong. King Kong's my favorite monster ever.
All right, well, I'm going to lose you on this next one. Are you ready?
Yep.
So also as a kid, the line started to blur. Like one thing, because of my age, I was born in 87, that absolutely captivated me. It took my generation by storm. It was the biggest thing that ever happened up until that point for kids' entertainment. And it lives on till today in every medium you can imagine. And this book is representing that. And not only does it represent that, it represents where I got to meet my childhood idol, like he was adults idols, because it never left people. If you were a fan of this person and this brand, it has never left you, and it's stronger today probably than it was when you were a kid. And that's Mighty Morphin number 5. And I picked this one specifically because it highlights Tommy Oliver in this beautiful, before he was rocking Marvel and DC. This is Felipe Masafera. This is from 2016 though, but you get both Rangers, the white and the green. But I was able to take myself, the wife, the kids to go meet Jason David Frank in person, and we got it signed. So this is a grail piece for me, a personal piece that will never leave anywhere. And you can't really see it, but I've got like other stuff signed and the custom helmet and everything. It's just, that's like a huge part of my fandom growing up. Just
still around today. And see, that came just after me, right? The Power Rangers started just after me.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing with the turtle craze. That was just after.
The only older person I know that was really into like a my generation craze is Rob and his passion for Pokemon. But anyways, next book.
I was too busy watching Ultraman and Johnny Sacco and his fighting robot and space giants.
Have you seen Shin Ultraman yet?
But now, did you see the last movie with Elizabeth Banks? I heard it was pretty good.
Yeah, the 2017 Power Rangers. Yeah, I've got it on. Yeah, own it. Watch it tons of times. It's fun. They didn't get their footing in it, but if you're a Power Ranger fan, you'd probably like it.
Yeah, there's enough lore in there to keep you occupied.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of Ranger stuff. It's really like, you remember that movie Chronicle? It was like a found footage movie of those kids that like touch the meteor and they can start moving things with their mind. It's kind of like that, but with Power Rangers instead. Nice. But Chronicle was definitely better.
All right, number 4.
All right, so as I started getting just a little bit older and starting to read, it really just exploded at that point. Comics were full blown. That's what I learned to read on. That's where I learned a lot of like principles from and everything were from these heroes, because there's certain heroes that just have these principles attached to them. You know, you learn like willpower from Green Lantern, hope from Superman, vengeance or justice from Batman, and just indomitable spirit from Spider-Man. But so at that point, I really got into superheroes more and actually the comic aspect. So it's only fair that I represent that with this copy of Action Comics number 1. And this is the earliest slabbed copy I have. I didn't want to go dig out my raw ones, but this is the peanut butter variant from 1983. And I collect Action Comic reprints. I've got them all at this point, except for the original. There's like 14 different editions from 1938 to now.
I was going to say, they've had a lot of reprints, and a lot of them are really nice. And, you know, what I didn't realize about the original one is that was just one of the stories in it. So a lot of times you eat the reprints, it's really thin, and you're like, what? That was it until you see
this one's just reprinting Action Comics. It doesn't have the Western tail, doesn't have Zatara in there, but I've got plenty of those that do.
And that's a great reproduction. I think I have one here somewhere too. So I'll have to look at what one it is, and I'll see if you have that.
I do.
He said he got them all except the original.
Yeah, I do. And this one right here as well.
He just hasn't.
The sleeping bag variant. They're actually printed on newsprint, which is really cool because if you look even here on camera, you can see through the cover. You can see like the lines of the stuff on the inside.
The first page, yeah.
So it's newsprint, and then a lot of them think this is one of
They're
them.
thin newsprint. They were
And you
actually.
can see the little where the clamps get him as they pull him down the conveyor belt. Even like it's really cool.
Well, yeah, because it's part of the history of the book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Well,
You
In
gotta
another
read
year or
it.
two, Finn will be worth enough money to sell to get himself an Action Comics one.
Yeah,
GoFundMe. GoFundMe Action 1.
For you, because I knew you were going to bring some Superman up.
He's not
Oh, yeah.
quite old enough to work the coal mines yet, but in a
that's
few
funny
years.
to say that Indiana Jones is playing in the other room, or as he calls it, Indiana Jones.
Which one? The
I
The
think he's
newest
watching.
one.
No, I think he's watching Raiders right now. To be honest with
okay.
you.
I just
Yeah,
watched the newest
Temple
one
of
last
Doom
night.
is the
finally.
best.
Yeah,
Wasn't that bad?
we turned the newest one on earlier today. It was hit or miss for me. There's
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
I cut it
but
off.
it wasn't
partway
that. But
through
it wasn't awful. I
No.
thought.
I would argue that it was. There's cool special effects, but I would dude the minute
But
that
it's different.
the minute they did the
We'll talk about this on
moment where-
Friday.
Yeah. But I'm just gonna
Let's
still
put
gonna
a
say
pin in it.
I'm not. The minute that
Dialogue,
they
yeah.
didn't let him have a happy life in his final one, that's when I'm like, dude,
Oh.
that's not okay. You took away his Sunset Ride and you did this. Sure, it's an entertaining movie, but man, you did Indiana Jones dirty. I felt bad for him instead of hopeful at the end, and that's what I think messed up. Anyways,
Now, before we get to the next one, I did have a Superman question for you. Because when I was growing up, a lot of the things that, some of my first experiences with Superman in media was watching the old George Reeves serials. Did you watch
Mhm.
those as well growing
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't see your pops not having you
I
watching.
can't remember what the guy's name is. Something Allen, right? Who was Superman before George Reeves even.
Yeah.
He did it for one
I can only
season.
remember George Reeves.
Lenore Lennon's guilty.
All right. Number
Anyway.
5, sir.
So the next one, this is I had 2 of 4 of these floppies growing up, but more importantly than that, this is one of my first comic shop memories because I can remember being 8 or 9 in Augusta Book Exchange, arguing with adults in there, just like I do with adults today, over this little index card that you had to check off who you think's going to win a fight.
Oh,
And there's 5 or 6 of them you had to check off. And I this little kid was in the store arguing that Wolverine cannot beat Lobo. There's no way in hell that Spider-Man's going to beat Superboy, because I was a huge Superboy fan back in the 90s. But Marvel versus DC, and this is the trade paperback that collected the whole thing with the bonus stories. I read this 1,000 times as a kid. Cliff's in the comments. I even pulled it the other day because it had some of the coolest stuff in the back with the extra features, with the stats and everything, and all the photos. And they had all these wild outfits for the time era and everything. Just absolutely loved it. It was so memorable in my mind. This was just such a great event.
Look at the muscles on Wonder Woman.
Well,
Yeah.
and what I always liked about that, whenever Marvel and DC did a crossover, is it went against the Marvel DC riff, right? Oh, they don't like. No, they're smart. They play into each other. That's why they had different things that made fun of each other. Plus, they were smart. They knew how to create business with each other by being opposed, and they weren't against each other. That's why Stan Lee always called them the distinguished competition.
I
Mhm.
thought it was Stan Lee said it best actually when he was talking about. He always gets asked the same question: like, who could beat who in the fight, whatever it is.
Whoever writes, whoever's
Yeah, exactly. Depends upon what's writing the book
Yeah.
and what he
Well,
wants to do.
I've sat in panels and listened to Stan Lee say it firsthand that you never let someone truly win, because then the story's done. Then
Right.
then this conversation is done. Then you won't ever ask me this question again.
Mhm.
Well, Bobby wants to argue with you.
According to the book, Wolverine did win. Yeah. According to the book, he took the cigar. In my mind, what happened after that? What happened after that? I was split on it. I was definitely
They
split
each
on it. I
grabbed
mean,
a
we
beer
had
and
stuff
went to the
like
strip
Flash
club.
versus Quicksilver. That's a gimme. I was mad that Superman beat the Hulk, but I justified it that it's Smart Hulk, But I was split.
But that's what's fun, though. That's what makes it fun. If
Mhm.
you're invested already.
Yep. And I'm with Sector. Amalgam is out there somewhere, and I'm a huge fan of the Amalgam stuff. So, for those that know their comic book timeline, right after that started, the greatest comic story ever told kicked off. At the same time, this book changed my life for the rest of my life on how I viewed superheroes. There were more than just cartoons on pages. They were real for the first time for me. Absolutely real. I can picture them in the real world. The story was so serious that I stopped taking them as a joke. They just meant more to me, and I'd never seen them brought to life in such a way, in such a moving way, even as a kid. And that's none other than Kingdom Come. This book absolutely changed my life.
Yeah.
To this day, I've never read a book that has just put me over more than this. I've never read a book more than this one. I would take my trade with me to school when I was in 3rd grade, looking at the sketches in the back for my 4th grade curriculum project. I redrew the sketch of Captain Marvel and turned it in as my project. For 6th grade, I did a book report on this in the novel form of it, and almost got in trouble till they found out there was a novel form of it, which I didn't read the novel. I just read this and showed them the novel. But this is by far the most influential book for me in the comic book medium. By far.
A good one too. Perfect choice.
Yeah, that's
and it's so weird. That you'd have to show them the novel. Like they wouldn't be okay with you just reading.
Well, that's the thing. She didn't read my report, because when I tell you I did a book report on Kingdom Come, I was happy to do the best book report you've ever seen anyone do. More, because I was passionate about it.
Yeah,
but as soon as she saw the word Superman or whatever, she closed it and called my mom. But little did they know, Mrs. Banks, if you're listening, as well as my mom, last time me and Pops were in the used bookstore, we found the 1,000-page novel that he let me get just because I wanted it for the dust jacket art. So I took that to school with me and put it on her desk. Then she went and read my report at that point and saw that it was actually a higher reading than 6th grade level. Like these are concepts that we're not teaching yet. That is great that he's reading this. And now Miss Banks was cool. Like that because Sleepy Hollow came out that year, right? And at that point, I wasn't allowed to watch R-rated movies in theaters. But it's Sleepy Hollow. It's one of my favorite tales, So Miss Banks had seen it, and she said it wasn't nothing but a couple of heads getting cut off. No language, no nudity. So Miss Banks called my mom again. Next thing you know, Pop's got the green light. We're going to see Sleepy Hollow. So thank you, Miss Banks, if you're listening.
Yeah, you get to see
she made it right.
Yeah, she made it right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I did this kid wrong. I got to make it right.
Good to have some enlightened teachers out there.
Course corrected. Yeah, you never assumed that of Georgia, would you?
No. Anything south of the wall, nope.
So at this point in the comic history, you see where it all started. You've seen some of my influences before comics, and then what really got me going into comics. And then I collected like everyone else, collected. The next big change really started occurring when I got more into a community aspect of it and learning more about stuff than just going in my local LCS. And before I really got rocking and rolling on YouTube, right before it, I discovered online comic book retailers, as well as the concept of exclusive covers, how different shops do those and how people can fund and have their own cover and hire your own artists. And that concept was foreign to me until this book here. This is the first ever exclusive comic that I bought, and it's super duper special to me on numerous levels. It was from Big Time Collectibles. If y'all don't know, Nelson, who owns that shop, and me are good friends now. He's super involved in the community, massive supporter of Comics Curing Cancer. He sponsors my channel. He's a genuine member of our community and passionate about the hobby and everything. And this is the book that introduced me to him years ago. And it also introduced me to my favorite modern exclusive cover artist, John Jang. And it was on a Power Ranger book.
Yeah.
So to make it even more special, my wife kidnapped me, hogtied me, drugged me to Atlanta just so I would meet him in person for the first time. And I was able to get it signed in person by John, making it even more special. But I just absolutely love it. Again, it's Tommy Oliver. That was the whole reason why I bought the book, because it was a new Power Ranger arc happening. It was a big deal. And there's these covers coming out of nowhere I'd never heard of. And this just took me back, all the way back. Like, it's just such a great cover.
He's got such a cool signature, too. I like that signature.
Yeah, it's just a JG.
Yeah.
I'm just going to clip his wife hog tying him. We'll use that later.
Oh, you don't have to clip me. I can send you already clips. She's big on recording it. I don't know why.
Now,
weird shit, Rob.
Who is we talked about Power Rangers twice, and you still haven't said who your favorite Power Ranger is. It's green or white? Or...
What? Were you not listening?
Well, no, he's got a couple Rangers.
Yeah.
Oh, green. Okay.
Tommy for sure, right?
Yeah, the Tommy for sure. And I'm biased to the color green if you haven't figured that one out.
And you know, the comic books are way different than that cheesy ass show that was out back in the day, right? Like,
Oh,
if you read
oh,
the books, like, oh my god,
Steve's starting to fight.
Yeah, I 100% agree. The comics that are coming out now are for me, are for the people that enjoyed that cheesy ass show as a kid. The books aged with the audience properly, and they're still using the characters from when they were a kid. I'm having a blast with it. The current Dark Sector event that's happening right now, Darkest Hour, is exceptional. I think his name is Maria Flores is taking it over after Ryan Parrott, absolutely crushing it. It's just full on amazing.
How about Ranger Academy? Are you enjoying that one?
I did not pick up Ranger Academy. I checked out the free comic book day one. I'm like, pass.
Did you like the covers that came out with the turtles holding the helmets?
Got them all.
Yeah, that was kind of.
Yeah. And even I have all the helmet variants and even got my Green Ranger one and my White Ranger one signed and everything, but they just don't mean as much as that other one. But yeah,
Right.
I've got boxes and boxes of just power. Like these boxes, this is just giveaway stuff. That's just Tales to Astonish and Incredible Hulk, like sub 100 stuff. Then I have my books that I read every week. Then I have just Power Rangers. They get their own box because I just have that much Power Ranger stuff.
Right, and that title's been going a while. It's in the hundreds.
Yeah. It's rocking and rolling.
And you got DVH saying Tommy all day.
Yes, sir. He's no grease too, but he'll get the job done.
I think he was on Neighbors once, though.
Maybe.
All right, number 8, sir.
So really, the next few are just some really just examples of how miraculous this community is, how just amazing this hobby is. And this next one, I have a really close friend that's tied to me through some stuff offline, and he has this book. Like he's lost both of his parents to tragic accidents, and because of that, he moved around a lot through family members. And the only thing that he owned since when his mom and dad was alive was this comic right here. And he doesn't understand how he managed to hang on to it all these years. And he wanted me to have it because he knows that I would appreciate it and take care of it. He would always know where it was. He knew it was something special. He didn't know why it was special. He knew it had some value to it. Didn't know how much. He didn't care. He just wanted to know it'd be safe because he doesn't know where he'll end up in life.
And appreciate it.
Yeah, and he doesn't know where he'll be. It's just a situation. You know, he's in a good place right now, but he wanted this piece of his life. He'll always know where it is, kind of thing, knowing it's with me. And I got it graded. I sent it to CBCS. It came back a 5.5. I'm like, well, it's safe in this case, but I know that grade is BS. So I had it CPR'd. I got it cracked, clean press, and I sent it to CGC, and it came back an 8.0. And it's from 1989. Wow. It's a huge book to me, and one of those ones I doubt I would have ever owned otherwise. It's Caliber Presents #1, the first appearance of the Crow.
That's a great book. Yep.
Yeah, so it was a massively important book to me. Just one of those things is you just never know what's going to happen. You know, this book will be with me to the day I die, or till the day he tells me that he wants it back for whatever reason in the world, and I just hand it to him. You know.
I got a book like that in my collection. Yeah, and it's funny, like the value these little pieces of paper can end up having for you.
Yeah, and it's not even the monetary aspect of it, really. You know,
it's the emotional attachment. Yeah,
that's super crazy. Now the next one is a testament to never count yourself out. Like I never say I'll never own an Action Comics #1. I would never say that. You never know what'll happen.
Right.
I'm a massive Incredible Hulk fan. He's my first and foremost. Always has been since I was a kid. I'm attempting to finish the Volume 1 run, and I've been doing it for a couple of years. It's not like something like I'm pushing hard, going on eBay and trying to have to buy one. I just get them in person when I find them for a good deal. I need less than 10 issues now.
And it's something fun to hunt.
Yeah. They're all in the first 100. I've got issues, like of the original 6, I've got 3, 4, and 5. You know, I try to pick up one of those a year kind of thing. I normally do it at Heroes Con. And now this one right here was the biggest one under 102. 102. Yeah, under 200. Because it started at 102 was issue 1. Yeah. And this one I was chasing down and looking off any chance I could get. There's some local shops here that are great. And one came in and the owner messaged me and I messaged him back. I'm like, yeah, I'll come check it out. And he's like, another guy already is coming by, but if he doesn't want it, you can get it. The guy ended up getting it. I was like a few hours late catching his message, you know what I mean? Because I was at work and everything. And then I get a message from him a couple weeks later. He's like, hey, I got a guy bringing the book in. If he sells it to me, I'll let you know first. I'm like, I appreciate that. The guy didn't come off of it. Fast forward a few weeks, I'm at ABX, and the shop owner, Paul, who's known me since before I was born, who I grew up in the shop, he's like, Mark, I got this book. I'm wondering if you'd be interested in it before I put it up for sale. I'm like, hell yeah, I would. And this was on a whim, like right before the lockdown, before the prices went crazy. I didn't have the money for this book laying around, but what I did have was a savings method. I literally save change. I don't spend it.
In a giant baby bottle. Excellent.
In a lot of different things. In my car, I have the armrest, and when the armrest is full, I move it to this container under my seat. When that's full, it comes in the house. This is just the one that's by my desk, so I sit down, I can empty my pockets into it. And when they get full, you go to your bank, you can get coin rolls for free. And
Right.
you fill them up yourself. Don't take them to Coinstar. Then take them back to your bank, and you don't pay nothing. You just deposit straight in. So I've been doing that for a couple years. Hadn't cashed it in or taken it to the bank. So I decided to go see what I got. So I go get change out of my house, take it to the bank, turn it into cash, go to my LCS, pay for the book, and pick up Hulk 181 at 4.5
There you
Nice.
go.
with change.
Wow. Wow.
Bought it with
Just
change.
some pocket change. There you go.
Literal pocket change.
Yep. Lunch
Nice.
money.
Not bad. Not bad. Love the Hulk. Had to have it. And it worked out. It was local and it was from my LCS. This is Paul's copy. I own a piece of Paul's collection, which means even more to me. Like
That's
Paul's
awesome.
like family, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah. That's not the only big book I got off Paul. I got the first appearance of Blade off of him. One day he was cleaning out his closet, found a copy of Tomb of Dracula 10 in the bottom of his closet. I got it,
Ooh,
bought it from him for $60, clean pressed it, graded it out. It was like a 3-point something. Not bad for $60.
Yeah.
That one presents really nice too. Like that looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, it has this. Is it on this side or is it on this side? I think it's on this side. Where's the little chip? No, right there.
Make sure you let Paul know if he's cleaning out his closet again, he finds a startling 49.
I don't know if you can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
right there. There's just a little vertical chip, little thing like that takes away from it. The back is super clean.
Holy crap, man.
But yeah, just that little chip really knocked the hell out of it. But I'm a huge fan of getting books with a little chip. My first appearance of Swamp Thing, when I went to get that to finish out the whole Swamp Thing run, there was like a 3.5 or a 1.5. And the 1.5 on the back cover just had a tear across it that just destroyed the grade. I'm like, give me the 1.5.
Absolutely.
see, you're in Jerry the Jitterbugs territory there.
There, yeah.
I've been saying for a while now. I'm a big fan
Scary.
of spine splits in a CGC case. I'll take a spine split all day long.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, dude, I'm not a grade snob. I love the books, and when you see them with that age and that wear and that tear and that patina, it just makes it more interesting looking to me. Now, if someone offered to trade it for like if like someone offered me a 9.8 for the same price, sure, that's common sense value wise, but that's not what we're talking here. We're talking about,
Right.
yeah.
And not only that, like you said, you got it from a friend. And there's a lot to be said for right times, right circumstances, right opportunities. Sometimes things just align.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They come together like butt cheeks, Gary.
Oh yeah, we all got a few of those in our collection. Yep.
Mhm.
Well, and that's the thing though, like when you get it that way, you really remember it. It imprints on you.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a new shirt soon coming to the Legion shop.
It'll just say clap.
With the 181 in it.
We are Legion. We come together like butt cheeks.
And while Marcus has popped in here, please check out his show right after our show. So hit him up and see what he's got brewing tonight for FOC and Chill.
Mm-hmm.
And Remy Q says, there it is. All right, so number 10, sir.
So again, just testament to cool things you can do in this community. This is where me and a group of my friends came together like butt cheeks to put together a book with another phenomenal community member, Austin LeMay. And this is the Savage Samurai #1. The cover that we commissioned Austin to do ourselves.
Right.
So it's just really cool to see a community member get to do his own book, and how he said, like, anybody with a little bit of money and a want to can put together your own comic book, something that I didn't never know years ago, but thanks to this community and the hobby, just something cool. Something cool.
Right. And just an experience you got to share with some close friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got my copy here, so.
Oh, very cool.
I bought mine from Nick, trying to help him.
Did you trace his hand on it?
And yeah. No, I have a Conan #1 that he traced his hand on.
Perfect. Perfect.
Oh, God.
from 2019. So I got that. I got that in the collection as well. I swear I could do a whole long box of just stuff I've gotten from the community or more.
Mhm.
It's amazing stuff. All right, so now number 11 with an extended personal story attached.
Not the spec one, the extended personal story.
Yes. But if you want to save the story for last, you can do the spec first. It's up to you.
No, it's your show. It's up to you.
All right, well,
We'll do the spec last.
all right, let's go with the story.
So it's no secret I'm a huge fan of Heroes Con. Like I'm a huge cheerleader of it. The secret to making Heroes Con such an awesome community thing was getting Rob and DJ on board finally this past year. Now it's the staple Comic Con of the comic community. It just is. I've been preaching about it since y'all met me. It's just I love Heroes Con. And what really set that off was when my dad contacted me years ago. And when I say contacted me, he either said, "Hey, Mark," or either picked up the phone if I wasn't right there because like we live right here. But he's like, "I'm taking us to Heroes Con." I'm like, "Dad, what the hell is Heroes Con?" He's like, "It's a Comic Con in Charlotte, North Carolina." I'm like, "Okay, cool, but why are we going?" It's like, "Well, it's an anniversary of the Rocketeer, and also there'll be a very special guest there." So this was like back in 2012 or 13 is the first year that I went, and we went because they had Stan Lee coming. It was about as close as Stan Lee was coming in a doable thing that we can do. And we got the whole Excelsior package and everything that came with like the meet and greet, the photo. This was back when people actually truly loved to read comics. And there was all kinds of artists and writers there. This was when Capullo and Snyder were doing Court of Owls. So that panel was packed out and everyone's just asking questions, just wanting to know what's going on with Batman. What is this Court of Owls? What is a Talon? Like the midst of it, and just had the absolute blast of me, my dad, and my brother. This was the last time the three of us ever went to do anything like this. We all went to a con together, hung out for the weekend, got to meet Stan Lee, sit in panels. And when people meet these huge idols of theirs, they always want to take something and get it signed. It came with one free autograph, right? And when you meet him, you shake his hand, talk for a second, he gets a picture, and you get the picture, and he's not doing autographs as he's doing pictures. They do it separate kind of thing. So you have your picture in your hand, and you assume you're going to get that signed or pay for more. But I had a plan. I wanted to get something specific signed, and it wasn't a comic. A lot of people get comics signed, but that's not where my brain went. And this was the very first Incredible Hulk action figure I owned as a kid. And I played with it to death. I rebought it, carded, and it's been beat up. It's made it through floods and water damage. It's come out on the other side, and I got him to sign that because that was just the most meaningful piece of me. And if you know me, if you see my background, if you watch my shorts, I love toys, and that's nothing new. It's been like that my whole life. I've never grown out of it, but I had to get him to sign that, and also because I was just cheesing like a little kid, I just got him to sign it. Then I just handed him the photograph too, so my photo is also signed. It's really great. Yeah, it was Neil Adams for my dad. Like we got to meet Neil Adams while we were there too, and yeah, it was. But yeah, George Perez was there that year. Just it had to.
And what great art on that blister pack too. That's just a great figure.
Yeah, it is.
With crushing orb.
That's it. The fluorescent green version with the extra radium in it.
Yeah, and you can see the line there where at our previous house they didn't put a new roof up as soon as they need to, and it had a leak that happened in the room where I had my comics. And needless to say, I went ballistic after that because this had water come up to the bottom of it on that side and absorb some of it. I would
have had like palpitations.
Yeah, but luckily, it still stayed on there and everything. It's all good. The condition of it doesn't mean as much to me as the fact that it's all still just present. It's still there.
Well, and it's a family memory, and Stan Lee's involved. I mean, everything came together on that one. Just beautiful.
Yes, it did, Gary. Yes, it did.
Trying to tie it in for you, Mark.
Slap it yourself.
Well, no, that's fantastic. And I've actually never seen that particular Hulk toy, so that was a great thing.
Oh well, if you check out Legion of Comics on YouTube, it's normally on that peg right there in the background.
It's so funny because when I watch people, like even if when I'm watching Rob, I never look at his back wall. I'm an eye contact person, so whoever I'm watching, I'm just looking at them.
Yeah, I like to
There's
look
nothing on
Rob in
my
the
back
eyes when
wall.
he's lying to me too.
Yeah, I'm always looking at the wall too.
There's nothing on my
See,
back wall. I don't know what you're talking
even when I
about.
talk to people in person, it's straight eye contact. Got
I
it.
would be more impressed with Rob's back wall if it wasn't all reprints.
Well, he's known as a reprint whore, so I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, he thinks he's fancy calling them facsimiles, but we know the truth.
No, not creepy, Brad. It's just when I talk to people, it's face to face.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super fair. But at this point in life, like I have like all the Migos, like the 12-inch, the 8-inch. I've got Marvel Legends for days. I've been collecting Marvel Legends back when Toy Biz had them when they'd come with comics, like from Series 1 forward for years. I quit before Hasbro took it over, but I still have all those and everything. I got
Toy Biz put comics with their action figures?
so many. Yeah, it was Toy Biz, wasn't it?
And
Yes, it was.
yes,
Yeah,
and
thanks, Rob.
you know what I miss, Mark, as a father, what I miss is like one of the fun things I used to do with my son is when we had Toys R Us in the U.S., we would just go there and walk around and look. We would spend an hour there looking at stuff. Of course, we always would leave with something, but it was about us spending the time and just looking at cool shit together, going through the aisles. Oh, look at this, buddy! Did you know they made this? Oh, look at this! And, and
so I do that now. Like we'll make it's like an extra special treat now because like they don't know the joy of like a full size department store full of toys. They don't know that joy, but they do know that now Toys R Us is in Macy's or JC Penney's or something. So I'll take them to the mall and we'll go in there, and it's a big deal to go through this maze of a department store when you're a little person to get down to this corner of toys with this giraffe statue on a bench. So I'm instilling that same stuff in them because I enjoy it. And also, I take advantage of it while they're still young because God knows I'm not looking forward to people staring at me doing that by myself.
Right. Now, I haven't been to the one in our Macy's yet because I wasn't sure how the experience would be. Is it worth the walkthrough? Are they set up decent?
The first time I ever went, they had like Legends and McFarlane's and stuff like that. And the last couple of times I went, it kind of looked like they kind of just let that stuff sell out. And it's all just kind of like younger kid stuff at this point for the most part. There doesn't look like they don't save any shelf space for the adult hobby stuff. Yeah, that's just our experience one. I mean, because I mean, it's such an odd situation being a corner of a department store kind of thing.
Should be an entire floor of the department store, if nothing else.
Because I remember KB Toys too and going through there.
Yeah, I've got a lot of toys that still have KB Toy stickers on them.
Yep, and you would get their clearance deals. You go through and like, ooh, leave with a couple in your arms.
Well, I do at Macy's. I just wouldn't see kids riding bicycles down the aisles. Oh my goodness, that.
Yeah, they don't have bicycles there. They got
it's not Toys R Us then.
No bicycles.
No bicycles, no trikes and stuff. Then it's not Toys R Us. Come on, that's just fake.
Like Target is really hitting best when it comes to toys, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, and it's tough though because even with Target and Walmart, stores don't stock like they used to. Half the time you go there,
it's
you go there week after week and just empty pegs.
Mm-hmm.
And or they don't spend the money on the staff to keep the stuff sorted anymore either. So you go to where it should be and you find it 3 aisles down with a box open somewhere else.
Yeah, I've gotten to where I just like pre-order stuff off the McFarlane site when they announce a wave because I've kind of limited myself now to just like movie because I was the same way when I was a kid. Again, my passion for movies and comics really merged, like especially with toys. Like when the Spider-Man movie dropped, I got all the movie toys for that. When X-Men dropped, all the movie toys for that. And I still do the same thing with like the McFarlane figures. Now I collect the movie figure waves. With Avatar, the movie stuff, and so when I see that they're dropping a movie wave, I just pre-order it off the website, use discount codes and stuff like that. Like I got the Batman and Robin with the Build-A-Figure Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze showing up next week. That wave, I'm very excited.
Yeah, we moved into a stage now where everybody just gets everything delivered now. There's no going out to the stores and looking at it like we used to.
Why?
Well, I don't mind, but there's no, like Gary said, there's no consistency with it. And what's weird with toys, like movies come out every Tuesday, comic books come out every Tuesday, unless you're doing it wrong, then they come out every Wednesday. And then clothes even have a specific day of the week that they release, just like movies and comics do. But toys have no street date, have zero street date. They just have a projected month when they can start being sold. That's it.
And I remember too, because when I used to work in retail eons ago, like you wanted to be the guy in the toy department then, so you could see everything first and trying to put it up, get it on the pegs, and just I remember when I used to manage at a place, and we'd sit there and you get the Star Wars toys in, and I'd have people, oh, did you get this one? Did you get this one? Have a whole line of text. Half the box would be
under your shirt. No, we didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Spec pick, Mark.
Well, everyone knows that I'm huge on comic book speculation.
It is true. His name is Mark Comic Book Speculation.
Legion of Comics.
He's been waiting to get you back for that reprint comic.
What is it?
I said he was waiting to get you back for that reprint comment earlier.
Yeah, but this was actually a lot easier. This book was sitting out, and I've been a huge fan of it, huge advocate of this story, this creative team, and then what it has morphed into since NYCC. And if we're going to spec on something, we got to do it right. We're talking Ghost Machine. Jeff Johns, Gary Frank created an entire universe. It's Image 2.0. They're bringing all the top tier talent from across the industry into their imprint under Image Comics, a whole new creator-owned company. And it all started with Geiger #1, introduction of the unnamed universe. It has now expanded beyond that to 4 separate universes with top tier creators like Brad Meltzer, Gary Frank, Jeff Johns. You got Francis Manifold over there. Tomasi's over there. They just announced this week that Ivan Reese is coming over there, which is like one of like my chase artists where you follow where he goes from title to title. So Geiger #1 is a must get. And if you know, Remy Q knows. He's got the whole starter pack for Ghost Machine. I did a whole video on it, giving everybody the heads up. Don't get left in the dust. This is the place to be, not just for speculating on money purposes, but these people are doing this because they wanted the freedom to create properly again. And if you know, these names are nothing to like laugh at. These are the best of the best in the industry. Like it's crazy.
And a fantastic story with a nice spinoff with Junkyard Joe.
Junkyard Joe is a 10 out of 10.
100%.
So good. Yo, Steve, go back. Go get issue 5, flip back to the fight when he shuts down and look there. They seeded it, man. I went back and looked, and after the fight with Geiger and Joe hits the ground, you see his eye, and then you see one panel with Muddy, but old Muddy. When we first read Geiger, like, who's that?
We didn't know what that was. But
dude, goosebumps, man, goosebumps.
Excellent series. That's a good spec pick.
Yeah. Like realistically, it is. Get in while they're still cheap. Get yourself a nice 9.8 for under $100. I think I paid $35 for that one.
Oh,
35.
That's phenomenal. I've
given away issue #1s and 9.8s along the way on my channel and stuff, just because like I believed in it back then. I've got the 80-page giant with the who is it? Brian Hitch is doing Red Coat. I'm so excited about that. You got Jason Fabak doing the Exodus universe with Rook. Just so much to be excited for.
Exactly. Wow.
Nice. Great pick. But even better stories, and with the Hulk figure in the previous comics, just a great showing tonight, Mark.
Yeah, it was kind of a trip through my experience of collecting from starting to today.
And that's what this is supposed to be about. Bringing up all these great memories you have when you're going through your books and you're putting something together, and you're getting those memories back again. Why this means something, why that means something, why this is important. And it's important to keep those memories going and alive. And every time you see these certain books, man, they hit you.
Oh yeah, most certainly. That's why I like leaving them all out around me.
And I love your comment about having these books that you don't think that you'll ever get in your collection. Never, ever say that, because you never know what's going to happen. It's absolute truth.
Yeah, it takes me back to God, was about 8 years ago now. No, it was longer than that. Like literally, a family was losing their farm to the bank, and when they sold it to the bank, cleaning out their house, and in their attic they found Pop's copy of Action Comics #1, sold it, and bought their house back. Superman literally saved their farm.
Story.
That's a real life story. That's absolutely bananas. You never know.
Yeah, Paul, picking on you here.
One down.
Oh, nice one, Paul. Paul's the best.
He is.
Oh no, great show, Mark. Thank you for coming on, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
Well, I never got to hear your stories with some of your comics, and it was just, I love it. I love hearing why people are connected to things.
He's never seen you on Only Slabs, apparently. Now I know where he fits in
I've seen Mark
my my
on it.
hierarchy. No,
Well,
I'm just kidding. I don't give a
I
shit.
was gonna say,
Rob, I'm just a substitution for that show. You know that.
I think I did my substitution on it. I think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, I don't have the books. Like, how do you compare with Doc and stuff?
It's not a comparison.
Oh,
Yo, he had me on after the second time I went on. I think was after Nerdy Girl or something. Like she should actually. What the fuck am I doing here? No, but I didn't care. I had fun.
I feel like Detective 27. Yeah. Oh goodness. No, but great books. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your history with us. It was fantastic.
Thanks for
Absolutely
inviting me.
great time listening to it. I want to also thank my co-host, but we're going to go around the horn here. We're going to see what everybody's got coming up. So, Rob, you were late, so we're gonna put you on
Last
first. Yeah. What's coming up for you? What's on that Only Slab show coming up?
You know, there's a variety of things coming up. I got tomorrow. There's going to be a product review dropping. Them doing, and then Thursday there's a Shop for Comics mystery box dropping. This Saturday we have Select Comics NYC making a return to Only Slabs. And then Monday we're back at mystery box. I think mail call. I think we have like another major key to unbox before the year's up still.
Nice. Oh, well, you've had a lot of bangers this year, sir.
You know, it's really difficult. I've been trying to make my top 10 list because the December 23rd episode of Only Slabs is Chris and I doing a holiday special showing off our top 10 acquisitions for the year. I have 10. I have narrowed it down, I think, to 10 I'm going to go with. And I think that there's 11 honorable mentions.
And another 30 sitting on the sidelines.
Right.
Now, Steve, what's coming up for you, sir? And guys, Steve's channel link is in the description below. He just started his channel last month. Please go sub him up and support him. What's coming up for you, Steve?
Well, tomorrow I'm going to drop a video on the Voices Choices with the new comic book day. Friday, I've got a video already in the queue for one of my old AOKs. I think I'll send out the Mark Andrews one. Nice. Next week on Monday, I'm working on doing a review of one of my favorite childhood books, good old Jack Kirby goodness. So I'm going to do my review and take on the big 19 issue series.
New Gods Volume 2.
Yeah.
All right. Now, coming up for me in 2 nights' time, I do have a vocal concert to attend for my child. So we're going on a half hour later at 8:30. We're going to have Marcus from Circumstances doing his second to 10-1-1. And then the week following, we have Ben Parker Comics on next Tuesday. And then we have Southern Comic Geek Jason coming back on for his second time around. Also a great guy in our community. And also, though, we have to get to Legion. Mark, what's coming up for you and your crew?
Same old live stream 3 days a week. It's Tuesdays at 2 p.m. for New DC Day, Friday mornings at 7:30 a.m. for just the wide open hang out with your wang out, no holds barred live stream. Every Sunday night at 8:30, though, is At Week's End, the spoiler field look back at the week in comics, movies, and TV shows. This past week, it was a Godzilla -1 special. The movie of the year just dropped, and you got to read it, folks, but it was worth every second of it. Go see it on the big screen. It was amazing. Check out that episode. It really was a good episode. And then upload on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays.
And a new Kong versus Kong and Zilla movie coming out.
Yeah, that trailer just dropped Sunday. Looked wild.
Oh, I love the whole mythology they created in the last one with the underworld.
Hollow Earth. Yeah. Are you watching Monarch on Apple TV?
No, I'm waiting because I don't have Apple TV. I'm just waiting to buy the series and watch it.
Yo, neither did I. And they don't sell Apple TV programs, unfortunately. Hopefully, this will be different. This is legendary, and they have such a big audience and with what they have. But there was numerous properties I was looking forward to, like The Foundation and other stuff that I'm like, oh, it's on Apple. I'll never see it. But then they announced the MonsterVerse show, and I'm like, I guess I'm getting Apple TV.
Well, I'll wait till it complete. Let me know when it completes. I'll get it for a month and then binge it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they
go.
do a 3-month free trial, 3-month, which will get you all the way through the series. Because I had a Samsung, and if you do it through Roku offers a 3-month free trial versus a 7-day one. So it might be worth checking because you can watch it in real time with the rest of the
I
world.
want to see it really bad.
It is so good.
Concept of Monarch itself.
Yes, it is so good.
And I like that we're going to get to see John Goodman's character again too.
Yeah, Billy Randa is one of the main characters in the flashback stuff. So you see not only John Goodman, but you see the younger version of John Goodman through the inception of Monarch itself. It's really cool. And then you got Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell playing the same character, just in different decades. So you get like these cool.
Oh, he plays.
Yeah, it'll be like looking at Kurt Russell's face. It'll just fade into a flashback, and it's his son's face. You're like, yo, that's really his son. Like, it's brilliant. Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, he was great in that war horror movie.
Who, Wyatt?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was part of the Cloverfield universe. Overkill. That was nuts. So I got in trouble for that one.
Right, that movie was fantastic.
Yeah, me and Finn watched it together.
And that was crazy, just like when he got all like jacked up and
yeah, it was nuts and fought at the end inside the Nazi stronghold. Yeah. But like Finn was like 1 year old, and I was really excited for that. I love the whole Cloverfield universe. So me and Finn rented it on TV, and Kyle.
I didn't know that was part of Cloverfield.
That's official Cloverfield universe film. Yep.
But I own that. I love that movie. That movie caught me by complete surprise when I started watching it.
Mm-hmm. It was wicked.
But all right. Guys, thank you all so much. I want to thank, we had a great turnout tonight. So Mark, thanks for helping promote the show. Thank you to everyone who watched tonight. We had a great audience. We had a great time. Thank you again to my co-host. Thank you to my guest, Mark. And I
do want to say Gary's less than what 5 subscribers away from 2,000.
I think, where am I?
Like 1.99. What are we doing here, people? Share the stream.
1998. I'm two subs away.
2 subscribers away from 2K. Let's go.
You know how YouTube goes, Mark. It'll go above it, then it'll go below it.
It will, but real quick, I do think it's close enough to say, like, if you're out there and you can just share Gary's stream out real quick, that would be like super duper nice of you. He's 2 subscribers away from 2,000. I can't just like push him over that real quick.
Somebody go grab their kid's phone and just sub them.
Right.
Yeah, just grab your spouse's phone, grab your kid's phone, just hit that subscribe on it real fast.
I can see Rob unsubbing me right now.
He's about to subscribe for the first time.
Unsub.
Well, thank you, Mark. But again, thank you everyone. A great chat, just a fun time. I had a fantastic time. Thanks for coming on. And of course, guys, as I like to end all these, keep it casual.